On last week's DJD, Dale asked Chase Elliott about his interest in participating in Season 2 of Full Speed. Here is what he had to say.
It might not be the most entertaining thing or the most popular answer or whatever, but, dude, I really just want to go fast, and I want to do my job at a high level. And if I feel like there's anything that's going to take away from that, I'm probably going to say no to it.
Spot on, spot off, Freddie.
Oh, great. Here comes the portion of the show where everybody says we hate Chase Elliott.
Why do people say that?
I don't know.
I mean, we can probably come up with a few.
I completely understand what Chase is saying. But it's just not how this game is played. I promise you, every driver in the field would like to just solely focus on going fast and solely focus on whatever's going to make them a better race car driver. But there's a whole other side to this, and it's the business side of this motorsports. And you can't just rely, Brett, on I'm not going to do that because I think it's going to slow me down on the racetrack.
I hear him. My struggle is it better? Man, this is a complicated debate. Like, I can literally sit here and argue with myself. Connor just walked in here. He's a young kid. He's 17. He needs sponsors. Chase Elliott doesn't need sponsors. You know, Connor needs owners to like him. Chase Elliott doesn't need an owner to like him. He has that. Like, Chase Elliott has never been in a bad race car in his life. Is that fair to say?
Fair.
Yeah, probably. I'd say it's really a fair
He's
chance.
always been in elite cars. Is that fair?
Yes.
He has a ton of talent. He's a champion. He's a winner. Like, he's done all the things. But to help us, I mean, I'll go back to what Kevin Harvick took a freaking jab at Dale Earnhardt Jr. and said if he had ran better during his career, and oh, by the way, they're business partners now, but if Dale Jr. had run better during his career, our sport would be more popular than what it is. That's what Kevin Harvick said. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't know. But I can sit here and say if he were on this Netflix series this year, does it make more people watch the Netflix series? Does it make more fans come to our sport? And in my mind, the answer is yes. I mean, Jeff Burton told me all the time, you're supposed to leave the sport better than you found it. You're supposed to do things to help grow the sport. You're supposed to do things to help engage with fans, engage with sponsors. And so, man, when he says that, it's like selfishly, he doesn't care. And I know that's probably not the case. But at the same time, it's a lot of work to do what Denny Hamlin did and let all these people into his world. Denny Hamlin doesn't have a championship, but he's a Hall of Fame driver in my mind. And he's running a company, and he gets the big picture. I don't know that Chase has to care.
TJ.
I think I'm spot on for what Chase said. Chase is just being Chase. And he's never, said he would want to do more. Chase just wanted to. He's never really changed. In my opinion, he's been the same way. He just wants to race and go race, and he doesn't really, I think he does what he's asked to do with his company and his sponsors and stuff. But, as far as doing stuff like this, that's just not Chase's personality to me. And, Chase is just being Chase, and it's hard for me to – I want him to do it. I want him because, Chase is he's a pretty funny dude once you get to know him and stuff, and he's a good guy, and I think it would do a lot for the sport as well. But Chase is just being Chase, and I'm gonna, I don't think he needs to be somebody that he's not.
I don't, you never see. I don't think. I mean, I think maybe him and Blaney went back and forth a little bit, like jokingly last year. But Chase is not the guy that's out there begging to be the most popular driver. He just somehow happened to be the most popular driver. But
why is he the most popular driver?
I mean, I'm sure it's, his dad was a multi-time. I couldn't. What's the number? It's got to be
crazy.
Teens. I think that was a huge fan base that carried. He inherited two huge fan bases because he had his dad's huge fan base that won multiple most popular driver awards, and then he got in the 24 car, which already had another huge fan base off of Jeff Gordon. So he inherited two really big fan bases, and we give him on here all the time about not doing much to deserve that award. But it's like to TJ's point, you see the numbers. Our TV numbers are up 10-15% every race so far, it seems like, this year, and you got to think that has some kind of reflection on that Netflix series, much like it did for F1. And I just want him to be part of it because of you think it has that much more effect if he's there. But to your point, TJ, that doesn't fit his personality. That's not him. He's not super outgoing, publicly, I should say, a nice person. But, that just doesn't fit his thing. But to that point, Brett, I think we heard it somewhere. I think I was maybe the Barstool, Large from Barstool mentioned it. He thought he heard boos for Chase during the Bristol intros, which is, I didn't hear it. We were inside. But if that's the case, do you think he's ever in jeopardy with stuff like this? Is he ever in jeopardy of losing that most popular driver award?
I mean, he could, man. I mean, when you look back and he hadn't won a race in a couple years, and obviously he's coming off of injury, he's coming off surgery. Didn't he have shoulder surgery?
Yes.
And I don't think, that probably gets enough attention. That takes a while to come back from. It's no different than when we sat here with Jamie McMurray, and I said, I don't want to see Jimmy Johnson get in a race car and struggle. I don't want to see him tarnish his legacy. And it doesn't matter what we want or what we think is right for somebody. They're going to do what they want to do themselves. I am spot on for him coming on the Dale Jr. download, to be honest with you, because why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
But he hasn't. I'm sure they've asked him for years to come and be on that show. And, boom, here he is, and he's talking about things that are near and dear to him. So I don't think he deserves to be beat up over it. Maybe we're beating him up over it, but it's just I wish he would. And I think it would help our sport if he did. But he doesn't gain anything from it. That's my point.
That's what I was about to say is it's no secret. He's getting a lot of for his performance on track. If he were to have been asked, can you be on this show, something that would take up more time, probably more stress, more things to add to his already busy schedule, I mean, would you say yes? If it doesn't really do anything for you?
Listen, I worked with Elliott Sadler, and I managed him for 20 years. There's a lot of reasons why he moved back to Emporia, Virginia. One of them was because you couldn't get to him. If you asked him to do something in Charlotte, he didn't live here. There's a reason why Chase Elliott doesn't live here. There's a reason why Mark Martin didn't live here. Could they come to Charlotte? Yeah, they could fly in here whenever they wanted to, but they also had that easy excuse of, I'm not there. I'm not coming.
We talked about on here, when we discussed the show, one of the stars of the show is Booty Barker. And I can tell you firsthand knowledge that if you asked Booty and he was completely up to him, he would have told you no. But, unfortunately for him, our boss, Denny, was an open book and wanted to make sure 2311 was an open book because he knew, and he saw people complain about how much attention 2311 got because of that. But he knew what that could do for the sport. And Booty hates it, but it made Booty a star. There's people coming by the hauler every week to try and talk to Booty now. And
I bet he loves that.
The number of people when I give a tour who ask where he is so they could meet him, it's unreal.
But that's the beauty of the show is the guy you least expected to be a star is the star.
But Chase is the star already. He has other things to focus on, right?
That's why he's telling you no.